All right, welcome back. Sully, I want to ask you, before we get to the NHL, about the Cavaliers series and the game that they win the other night. It's now 2-2, by the way. We have $5 on that. I took the Cavs against the Bulls. I did.
For the series?
For the series.
You were almost on the ropes there.
David Blatt, the Cavs coach, at the end of the game is trying to call a timeout when they don't have any, like Chris Webber. So if he's not losing credibility there, how much credibility is he losing when he goes in and he calls a play? He's going to have LeBron James take the ball out of bounds. If there's anybody on the floor that should be taking the ball out, it's anybody but that guy. You want to, that's the guy, one of the 4 guys that you want to get the ball to. And what does James do? He scraps the play himself and then announces it after the game. What do you make of all that?
I think, look, I covered a game in Cleveland. David Blatt was very sensitive about the notion he's a rookie coach. He's still, and this was, we're talking, it was the middle of the season. He's a rookie NBA coach who coached 22, 23 years in Europe, won a ton of titles. It's not the NBA.
So he does.
It's not the NBA.
But he doesn't know how to, count timeouts.
Right. So he looks like exactly what a lot of people have said about him, and even that LeBron James had suggested during the season, rolling his eyes at timeouts, that this guy's a little over his head. He knows his basketball. A lot of people know basketball. I've known great high school coaches. Not everyone can coach in the NBA. And I've said this before, I think, if they don't win this series, he's fired. He might be fired if they don't win. I don't care Kevin Love or no Kevin Love. That's a bad look.
Sully, he might be fired if they don't win the title.
Right.
So, all right, listen, to the NHL, if we can. We have Anaheim going against Chicago.
Oh, God, what a series.
It's going to be awesome. And both teams are going to be rested.
But you don't know who I'm taking.
I already told you in the last show that you said who's going to beat Anaheim, and I said Chicago will.
Oh, so we agree on that. I don't like when we agree. The Ducks are going to be tough to beat. They're 8-1. They're 9 for 29 on the power play. And Corey Perry, I mean, great players for all the people who wanted the tank. Great players make a difference in the playoffs, including that guy from Buffalo who's pretty good, and I apparently upset some people comparing him to Gilles Perreault.
I was surprised by the reaction to that. It was good to see because, we have millions of viewers out there, and every once in a while they're going to be disturbed by something that you say, and I understand that. I was surprised by the reaction. Mostly
I hear people complain that you're a bully to me.
Well, that's too bad.
Toughen up. At least they're watching.
Toughen up. Patrick Kane, again, you're going to see he was rested already because he had the injury. Unfortunately, the good part of that is that this kid's ready to go, and I think he's like hitting the peak time of the season right now. And Chicago's going to be really tough to beat, Sully. I mean, they just, with that guy on the ice and all the talent that they have already, he basically carried them in the previous series, and a team that really needed them. I mean, they weren't getting a lot from their superstars, and this guy shows up.
And at a time when it's very hard to score in the playoffs and in the league, as I said, comparing to Perreault. In 6 of the 8 games, they've scored exactly 4 goals, the Blackhawks. They're on fire. And they've scored 4 goals the last 2 times they played the Ducks in the regular season, just saying. So I wish you would take the Ducks, but we're both going to be smart here.
We already covered this.
How about these Eastern series?
Well,
you think goaltending matters?
You think? A little bit. Rangers Capitals tonight, and Braden Holtby, how this guy has played has determined whether or not the Capitals have won. And what you have right now is you have Ovechkin going, he is at full steam right now. And I haven't watched him play to this level. It's been years since he has been that dominant. This coach, Barry Trotz, has gotten as much out of him as anybody has in years. And here we go with the Rangers again, at a time where they've been thinking Stanley Cup for months. Now it comes down to Game 7. Game 7, I love basketball. You've heard me say this before. I'll take Game 7 in any sport, but I will not take it more than I would in hockey. I love Game 7 in hockey.
I can't wait for this game. And here's a stat for you. 9 straight elimination games. The Rangers have 1. This is an elimination game. And Lundqvist has played every one of them. You can have your Braden Holtby.
Okay.
You like Ovechkin enough to bet him tonight?
No.
Okay, thank you.
I don't.
He guaranteed a victory, I think.
I don't, because Lundqvist is a guy. I mean, overall, he's better. And if you're going to make me bet on one night, I'm just going to take the better player. There's a reason that, Braden Holtby he's not going to win a Vezina Trophy. And that's because Lundqvist is there.
You might want to look out for that guy in Montreal, too.
The price has been, Carey Price has been terrific.
Been great. He hasn't been as great as he can be.
Sully, he wasn't really good in the playoffs. But now you're starting to see the Carey Price that you needed to see. And if this guy comes back and finds his midseason form or how he played for most of the year, they're done.
You're letting them hang around, and unlike the regular season, they're out shooting them significantly in the series. I think they're asking for trouble.
They are asking for trouble.
They better win this one.
I agree. Well, they have to. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to wrap it up.